Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and welcome to another Masterpiece Theater. I know a lot of you were thinking that it's relatively quick between the last episode of Masterpiece Theater and this one, and basically what had happened is sometimes Takara likes to do repaints of their Masterpiece figures in Diaclone colors, tribute colors to different looks, comic, what have you. And basically, the set we're looking at today, the Cassettebots versus the Cassettetrons, is one of those cases. A little brief history. Almost 20 years ago, believe it or not, Takara did a repaint set of some of their cassettes, and it was an eHobby exclusive, and this Masterpiece set is homaging that. You have Wing Thing, Enemy, Night Stalker, and Stripes. And what's really cool is Night Stalker is using an all-new cassette mold that we haven't seen yet, and is basically based on Blaster's cassette Steeljaw. So I think this is a little bit of a way for Takara to kind of surprise us and give us a little hint that, hey, a Masterpiece Blaster is coming. There's actually some really cool retooling going on between Night Stalker and Stripes, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So that's it for me. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Okay, so what's in the box? First, you get your usual Masterpiece collector's card. You have 4 of these pink micro cassette cases. You have the 4 cassettes, and then of course you have the pile drivers and small rifles for Enemy. So yeah, so it's basically your standard micro cassette loadout. The other 3 here, you know, since they're beast based, their accessories are actually built into the design, which we'll see when we start looking at the tapes individually, which we will do in a few moments. Since I got this set from Big Bad Toy Store, I was able to get the Hasbro Asia version of the set, which is basically what they were selling, and that came with the collector's coin. Now, I haven't been getting these lately because I've been ordering my Masterpiece figures from Amazon Japan. But as you can see, you have the Autobot side and the Decepticon side. Really do like that. And you just undo the little tab here and open it up, and you know, there's the inside, and there's the actual coin. And on the back of the coin, there it is right there. It has like the different names. It's rather, this is actually fairly easy to get the coin out. It just slips right out of just, you know, I like to leave the coins here in the cases and what have you. So nice little display, nice little bonus, but ultimately, you know, nothing major. And if I could have saved a couple bucks getting this from Amazon Japan, I would have preferred that than getting the coin. Okay, starting us off is Autobot Stripes. You know, orange and silver here on the front with the, you know, this is the tape side that, you know, really shows it off. And if you turn it around, this is where all the, you know, cat parts are. And, you know, some of you who are sharp-eyed can automatically, well, would probably already know just from the history of Stripes that this is a Ravage repaint, but it's also a retool. And if you notice right here, there are some new weapon parts, and we'll get a closer look at those when we get to robot mode. Since it does transform just like Ravage, we'll just skip that and just go straight into the cat mode. And here we have Stripes in its animal mode, and as you can see, yes, the weapons back here, much like on the original eHobby figure, have been retooled. Basically, they look more like something that would come with Steeljaw. More on that later. And I really got to say, I am impressed with how Takara was able to do that. That they were able to take off the original Ravage missiles and in that same space put on these weapons that, you know, again, attaching them to the leg and that they would fit in the same space, that are clearly designed for a different cassette. I do find that very interesting. And there you go, you have the tiger striping there. You know, it's kind of interesting that we did, in Titan's Return, get a Stripes figure that was a pre-tool of Ravage, released as an Autobot, and with also a different head. And I actually never got that one because I really didn't like the look, and a lot of people didn't. I think that's one of the few Titans Return Legends figures you can still find on shelves now. But we'll pause, and we'll move on to Wing Thing. And here's Wing Thing. Wing Thing was one of the cassettes I was really excited to get just because this uses the Rat Bat mold, and because the prices of Masterpiece Sound Blaster haven't dropped considerably, and there's really no easier way to get a Masterpiece Rat Bat. This is my first experience with the Rat Bat mold. As you can see again on the microcassette side, you do have that nice painting. I find that out of the four, this looks and holds together the best in microcassette mode. You really don't see any gapping or anything. Of course, you turn it over and there's all the bat pieces. But, yep, that's about it for the microcassette. Let's pause and we'll take a look at Wing Thing in its bat mode. And here's Wing Thing in its bat mode. And to sit it up, I had to fold the wings back. But there you go. There's the full, Wing Thing effect. And I do like this figure. I do like the little, that you can get that three-dimensional look there with the head folding forward. I did believe that, Rat Bat's original guns were actually a little bit bigger and curved here. So I don't know if these are retooled or not. Like I said, I don't have the figure. I'm going off of the original G1 look. But really cool looking. I do like it in orange. I know some people, orange is their favorite color. So I'm sure they're going to be happy about that. But, that's about it for Wing Thing. Let's take a look at Enemy. Okay, and here's Enemy. And I think actually, with Night Stalker, Enemy is my favorite of the set. I do like this darker color scheme for the microcassette side, and I am a fan of the Rumble Frenzy mold. As you can see, there's the basic robotic underside. Really a nice classic design, and I think a lot of people were happy to see this done. This mold created for the Masterpiece scale, and it is nice to have another bipedal robot in the microcassette form. So we'll just pause, and we'll get into robot mode. And here's Enemy in robot mode, and this is how I'll probably end up displaying him. Since the pile drivers are so iconic to Rumble and Frenzy, I'll just leave those off to the side. And I do want to mention all of the gimmicks with the guns here, and the pile drivers connecting to Soundwave and being able to store and all that. Those all still work with Enemy and, all that stuff. So, yeah. But like I said, I do like the colors here. I do like the bits of blue breaking up the red. And like I said, I think this is my favorite, along with Night Stalker, who we're going to take a look at right now. And here's Night Stalker in cassette mode. Yes, it looks a little frumpled. It's been transformed a couple times, and really after the first transformation, I've noticed things don't like to line up when going back to cassette mode. It should still work fine in Soundwave and any other possible cassette-based transformers coming down the line. Hint, hint. This is a new mold, but it is also actually a retool. So it's a pre-tool. We have a pre-tool in the Masterpiece line. The figure is done in black and silver. As you can see, it has a lot of the weapons here underneath. And since this is a new mold, we'll go ahead and get into the transformation. First thing what you want to do is flip up these top bits right here. They actually don't peg in anywhere. They just float there, which is a little bit of an issue for me. Then go ahead and bring them forward. There's like a double hinge there, so you want to go ahead and do that. Then turn it around here, and there are some legs here on the side. Begin to fold it out. Like most cassettes, you're just going to fold them down and keep on bringing it down here. You'll disconnect the the bits from the cassette, and then just bring it around and loosen it up like that. And then what you can go ahead and do is give yourself plenty of room, fold these down, and just like that. You can basically start bringing the leg down there. This is one of my little complaints about these cassette beasts, is that there's a lot of ball joints and little hinges and what have you. And if you can, come in underneath here and flip out what will be the tail. So you get all that going on, and next what you can do is come inside here, and you want to, there's like the paws and what have you, and just go ahead and work those out. You can, what I like to do is I swing the leg up a little, and then I can fold it out straight, and then just bring them forward, so you got this thing going on. And then just straighten it all, bring it down like this. Don't worry, it will make sense in a moment. You're gonna end up with something looking like that, a little bit of a mess, but I assure you, you're on the right path. And then what you want to do is that two sides of the head flip out from these top sections, just like that, and then go ahead and fold everything up and peg it together, just like so. And then realistically, the final bits are bring the paws forward, just like that. Here on the front leg, you want to make sure, and it is kind of hard to tell with the black, to make sure that you have the right section of the paw facing forward. It's the one that's not hollowed out. But then you come in on the side here, and you want to fold out the little fins. And you know what? That's a little tight for me. So this is a great opportunity to introduce you to a wonderful handy tool that you've probably seen a lot of reviewers use, called the sponger. Just go in there. It's a little small plastic leverage tool, will not mar plastic, and that's great when you don't have nails or you can't get the leverage needed. Just go in and we'll help you flip out the fins. So that's about done here, so let's try and make a... You got a Night Stalker there. Let's try to make him look a little more presentable. We bring the legs back like that. This is all just, you know, adjusting to your preferences, how you want your figure to look. You know, but there, in all its lion-headed glory, is Night Stalker. And clearly Night Stalker is meant to be Steeljaw, Blaster's cassette. But like with Stripes here, as you can see, they basically took the missiles from the Ravage mold and put them on Night Stalker and Steeljaw, and they took Steeljaw's guns and put them on Stripes. So there you have that switch. Kind of interesting. I really think it's kind of cool we're getting this now, and basically it's Takara's way of saying we have, you know, a blaster coming, and I think it's kind of obvious it'll come pre-packed with Steeljaw. But then again, you know, Blaster didn't have that many cassettes. There's Steeljaw, Ramhorn, Eject, and Rewind. That's only 4, so I wonder how they're going to do the cassette packs, unless they're going to do a thing with Blaster where he'll come with all his cassettes. That'll be kind of interesting. You know, we'll have to see. I mean, I don't want to speculate at all, but that's Night Stalker. Yeah, the transformation is a little fiddly, as you saw. A lot of that has to do with the ball joints and swivels, but it's kind of cool. So let me pause, give you a look at the all the figures together, and then we'll go back for my final thoughts. Okay, so here's a shot with all the cassettes in the set. A lot of, you know, unifying colors: red, the orange, black. I know the red and blue on Enemy. That I really should say that dark burgundy and blue on Enemy kind of things that stick out. But all in all, I really like the look of the set. So we'll just pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. And that, in a nutshell, was the masterpiece Cassettebots versus Cassettetrons. An interesting set. Realistically, you're buying 4 cassettes for just one Night Stalker, since it is the steel jaw mold. But like I said, the retooling between it and Stripes is a lot of fun, and I personally enjoy these. The look of these cassettes, and hey, more cassettes to launch out of the chest of Soundwave. I do recommend that if you are unfamiliar with a lot of these cassettes, go back and take a look at my review of Hasbro Masterpiece Soundwave, that nice set that had Soundwave and all 5 of the cassettes together. It will go through the transformations and show you what they look like in their original forms. For me personally, it was also kind of fun being able to finally get my hands on the Rat Bat mold. I think it was kind of cool, and I can see why a lot of people were having a hard time judging between it and Laserbeak. But this should be it for Masterpiece Theater for a few more weeks. Next month we do have Target Master Hot Rod, and I'd like to bring that to you, and we'll see what we can do. But that's really about it for me. Once again, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate your continued support of all my video reviews, and not just Masterpiece Theater. I know it's more of a niche audience because these tend to be longer form videos, and even though the analytics on YouTube tend to favor longer form videos, I know a lot of you just don't have the time or interest in watching them. So again, I appreciate all the views, all the subscriptions. If you like what you see, please share it around the net. Definitely get the word out. Subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And hey, check out some of my other videos. I always put a couple links at the end on the end card. So it's your old pal Chuck from Masterpiece Theater. We will see you next time.